How can we cut e-waste and give electronics a longer life? That's a challenge Team Philips set themselves. Let's find out what they have to say in this video podcast episode of the Partnership Academy.
Team Philips, welcome to the studio. Good to have you here. Let's jump straight in. Diana, tell me, what is your big idea?
We would like to empower consumers of electronic products to choose repair as their first choice as opposed to replacement.
Okay. People don't want to repair though, do they, these days? Everyone wants to, just so easy to replace things, isn't it?
Exactly the problem that we're tackling. It's too easy to replace things. Repair is not really intuitive or user-friendly. But actually, it's making a comeback. So there are more and more repair cafes around the Netherlands, at least in all the major cities. Mm-hmm. As well, we know that repairing actually makes people feel good. You know, like achieving something, doing something with your hands.
That is true.
When
I repair something really basic, I feel a completely disproportionate sense of, achievement.
Yeah, like you're a hero. You're doing something good.
Sounds pretty pathetic. But tell me, Rainier, is the idea focused on all electronic products or?
No, so we use the lean methodology in here. So of course, then you need to narrow down to come up with an idea. And where we went in this way is we went more to the baby and VD monitors. Mm-hmm. So there we saw that it's literally hard for parents when it's breaking to repair it. And there, we're moving more towards that way to see if that consumer journey that we're having can be improved, right? So that consumers who are having a breakdown and having a baby in their hand, that they're saying like, okay, I need to do this and this, and then it's working again.
Yeah. You mentioned moving towards, but Mariam, is the focus now, just to be clear, solely on baby monitors, or are you more broadly?
Yeah, for the moment we are focusing on the baby monitors, but we do hope that if this pilot works out and once we're ready, that we can scale it to other consumer products that we have as well.
Who's this idea aiming to help? Parents with kids, or is it society at large? Flesh that out for me.
I think both in that sense. I think obviously, firstly, we want to help our consumers to make their troubleshooting and repair journey more accessible, easier. But then I think we're also creating an impact for society. We are reducing electronic waste. We are doing more sustainable practice. So I think we're doing good for everyone. Especially
in the electronic space, is it not more likely that people are just going to literally want to go to the website and say, I've got to send this back, get a return label, and it's shipped, it's done within, 30 minutes.
You're completely right. I mean, right now, the general behavior is that it's easier to replace instead of repair. I think this is also, like, for example, in the Netherlands, we see there's a lot of electronic wastes because of this behavior. We have approximately 370 to 400,000 kilograms of electronic wastes. So to put that into perspective, that is
every year,
every year, yeah, annually. So to put that into perspective, that's roughly the weight of 4 Titanic ships, which is crazy.
Well,
yeah,
I feel like there's a very, very much a behavior change component to this, as well as offering this service. So is that something that goes hand in hand with your idea?
Definitely. So the idea is really more like how can we change the consumer journey? So what you were saying, right? So because the consumer is going to our website and seeing like, hey, it's easy for me. I do 3 clicks and I'm getting a new one. But what if we change that and says instead of clicking a new one, saying, hey, if we're doing this and this, can you a little bit deep dive into what's going on? We can make it more easy troubleshoot for you.
And talk me through the research that you've done. How much appetite is there for this, Mariam?
Well, we went to a repair cafe and we interviewed some people. And the people who go there to repair their items are actually very interested in repair. but they usually don't know how to do it. And the people who are working in the repair cafes, who are volunteers, they usually, the feedback we got from them is that it's very difficult for them to see how to repair the product. So we're hoping with our solution that we can help these people.
But I mean, if you go to a repair cafe, you're kind of preaching to the converted. Those are people, keen on exploring and fixing things. Did you do research for people not in the repair cafe?
So we did speak to a woman who has actually a Philips baby monitor. And based on her feedback, she would be happy if she could fix it herself because she is with her baby and she wants it to be repaired quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. And trends are started with early adopters as well. So if we kind of target folks who are already more keen to repair, the trend sort of snowballs from there on.
Okay. If I'm on the website for Philips, and I'm initially thinking I'm going to send this product back because it's broken, what will I see on the website?
I think on the website you would hope to see a really detailed troubleshooting guide with videos, walkthroughs, helping you identify, diagnose your problem, finding reliable information on how you can solve it. Yeah.
Okay.
And
but I mean, I can also go to YouTube, right?
Indeed, you can. But I think if you go to an official site, you might feel, especially with baby monitors, it's related to your kids, your children, then you might want to have more reliable information because on YouTube, everyone can post on YouTube. Yeah.
And that's the first step. Where do you go? So from your product to whatever information source, that's the first friction point we want to tackle in our pilot. How do people make that step and where do they land? Because keep in mind now when you search in Google, you actually get an AI summary of whatever is out on the internet, be it YouTube or Philips.com.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about how on board Philips is for this, because I'm feeling it's a good idea, but I guess a company also makes less money if people are repairing things as opposed to buying a new one. So how much backing have you got from Philips itself?
So the positive thing is that our Philips is already working on this and they're also exploring this. So it's great that we can leverage on what they're already building and help them with this. So in terms of how excited they are and if they're on board, they are quite on board and they're quite happy that we're doing this.
Okay. Was there any specific insight or suggestion or piece of advice or feedback that really jumped out at you through this whole process? Anyone, perhaps?
Well, I think the whole AI piece for me was eye-opening.
What in particular?
The fact how much it is affecting consumer journeys and how new it is now. It's like something really obvious that's happening to all of us. But then when you actually put it in the context of a project like that, where you are mapping consumer journeys, it's quite eye-opening.
Okay. No, but can you be a bit more specific as to how it would be integrated into this particular consumer journey?
So in terms of what I was referring to earlier, like that first step of identifying your problem and finding information, that's something where we are, considering looking into.
And here I'm picturing some kind of AI agent popping up and having a conversation with you about the issue you've got.
I think it's simpler. Take a picture
Indeed.
and upload it.
So literally what the idea is then, so what journey we're right now trying to make a picture of it, like see how it's going. It's like literally if we're having a Philips product, we make a picture on it. And it doesn't matter if it's in Gemini, on Cloud, on any AI LLM that you're having. You take a picture and there...
Well, you mean you open it up?
No, you just literally make a picture with your camera from your phone.
Yeah.
You make a picture and you see, okay, it's not working anymore.
Yeah.
That's the only prompt that you're giving to it. And then it's like literally that you're saying then, okay, it's then seeing the picture and it should relate to the right product that we're having, right? And then also with the troubleshooting, like, okay, it's not working anymore. Try this, and this. If that's not working, try this, and this. So, or see this video because, of course, if you're doing in an AI, it's picking everywhere their information, but the information should come at a first source from our website. That's the idea then.
And in terms of making this idea a reality, give me some timelines and give me some idea of the kind of partnerships you need to make this happen, the people?
We first really want to focus on the online environment. I think for us it's the most tangible as well because it's internally. If you're then looking further, right, but that's more like a 2 to 3 year project. Which we're looking at is, okay, how are we then trying to see if customers, where like literally customers where we're selling our products to, can be integrated in this process as well.
Like retailers.
So, like retailers.
Retailers, right, okay. But I mean, Juan Carlos, it doesn't sound particularly tricky to get an extra website page up with an explanation, or am I being naive about doing that at a company as big as Philips?
I think it's doable, of course, but I think the big problem that we're trying to tackle here is how to really make the troubleshooting and repair journey more easier, more accessible for the consumers. It's their experience. And it's also the behavior that we see right now, which is replacing over repairing. That's the core issue that we're trying to tackle. So, of course, there are ways we can do to try and solve the problem, like putting up a website, whether it's leveraging AI. But then ultimately it comes to the consumers and it comes to their experience on troubleshooting and repairing. That's what decides how it's going to be.
And to make this idea a reality, you talked about further down the line doing it the retailers. This behavior change component has to happen as well as the offering the service. So how would you tackle that?
So I think we're gonna learn through this pilot what kind of behavioral tactics we can also use to encourage people to repair. We're starting with making the information easily accessible, easily identifiable, and taking what we already have on our consumer care page, because we already do have troubleshooting guidance. It's just that how to make it attractive, how to make it easy. The way people consume information nowadays has changed. We want to see like bite-sized TikTok type of things, little text. And I mean, I'm not a parent myself, but I can imagine if I had a baby on my hand, I wouldn't want to deep dive into a user manual, you know? So that's where we're looking at. Like, that's how we're trying to tackle this. A, make it easy to actually end up on that website or whatever AI agent that holds the information. And two, when you are faced with information on repair, don't be scared of it. There's even an initiative called Fighting Fixophobia. So, I mean, it's not like that's what we're doing, but fighting fixophobia.
Oh, fighting fixophobia.
Just to illustrate that fixophobia is a thing. Like, it's intimidating.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. And I think it's also good to see now that repairability is slowly becoming a trend now. Just in the Netherlands, we have more than 500 repair cafes already. And when we visited some of those repair cafes ourselves during our project, we were very happy to see that it was really packed with people, volunteers and people bringing in their broken goods to repair. So I think here, willingness is not really the problem.
Philips is a sustainable company, though. So isn't it already doing some of this work, Mariam?
Yes. So if you go to our Philips site, you can already see there's like an FAQ. So you can see different questions that are being answered. You can also reach out to our customer service. And what we want to do is we want to extend the FAQ possibly, and maybe add any additional content there. So either text or video. We're just trying to explore what we're going to do.
Okay, clear. And in terms of the e-waste that gets generated at the moment, like what happens to that, and how much of that is there?
Well, Juan Carlos has the numbers for it.
Yeah. So we looked into the numbers. Right now, 70 to 80% of collected e-waste is being recycled. But the focus point here is collected. So there's still a large amount of e-waste that's not being collected. The EU target is 65% on the collection of e-wastes.
And how's the Netherlands doing?
The Netherlands is unfortunately under that target. So yeah, there's still room for improvement.
Do you have perhaps, I don't know, a call to action for your audience, the users of this service, Diana?
Yes, parents, if you would like to help us make repairs a reflex a reality, please contact us and participate in the pilot.
Okay, good. So clear. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.